Do you know which empire has ruled the most land in the whole of history? The largest empire is the British Empire. And in second place after the British Empire is the Mongolian Empire. And in third place after the Mongolian Empire is the Russian Empire. I suppose the reason why they ruled so much land and so much areas was because there was that whole sense of let's take as much as is possible. Let's aim to rule everything, get as far as we can. Yeah, the rule of an empire and how great it is actually shown in the fact that they are able to cover so much land and so much areas in their influence and dominion. And when you watch a film like James Bond, you see that the villain tends to have this great scheme to try to rule the whole world through some form of evil plan that they have. I suppose the idea to try to rule everything has that sense of power and dominion. Now, David declares something about God, and we're going to see something very interesting. Because in Psalm 103, verse 19, David says this about God: "The Lord has established his throne in heaven. His kingdom rules over all." God has established his throne in heaven. His kingdom rules over all. The idea is this. See, heaven is high. It's above everything. And if God's throne is in heaven, it means that he is the one who is over everything. He is the King of all and the great God of all. He rules and reigns, and everything is subject to him. In fact, when you check Daniel chapter 4, verse 35, a king called Nebuchadnezzar says this about God. He says that all the peoples of the earth are regarded as nothing. He does as he pleases with the powers of heaven and the peoples of the earth. No one can hold back his hand or say to him, "What have you done?" See, God rules over all, and everything belongs to God. You belong to God. I belong to God. All of creation belongs to God. In fact, every kingdom, whether it be in the kingdom of human beings, whether it be in the kingdom of the spirit, whether it be the kingdom of the enemy, everything is subject to God. It means that his dominion and his sovereignty is shown over everything. He decides what happens. And don't worry, I know you might be asking the question, if he's in rule of everything and he decides what happens, why is all these bad things happening? Is he really in rule? Yes, he is ruling. And one day you'll see the ultimate way in which he shows his rule, because Jesus, everything has been given to Jesus. And Jesus one day will hand everything to the Father. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 24, it says this about Jesus: "Then the end will come, when he hands over the kingdom to God the Father, after he has destroyed all dominion, authority, and power." Because God's kingdom is the one that rules and reigns over all. And you know, in heaven, they look forward to that day when that happens, when it's finalized and we all realize that God rules and reigns over all, and we see it in its fullest extent. They say this in Revelation chapter 11, verse 15. It says, "The kingdom of the world has become the kingdom of our Lord and of his Christ, and he will reign forever and ever." He rules and reigns over all. He wants to rule and reign in your heart. And can you imagine when the God of heaven comes into your heart to rule and reign in and through you? It's not that you're going to be having dominion over people, but it means that you will live a life that pleases, glorifies, and honors him. A life that comes against what the devil is trying to do and shows that God rules and reigns over all through Jesus. So receive Jesus today. Allow him to come in and to rule and reign in your heart, to let you know how you should live, and you walk in that way. And see the wonder of what happens when the God of heaven, who has made all things, comes and lives in your heart through his Son, Jesus Christ, and rules and reigns in and through you. Allow him to do it. God bless you. Have a wonderful week.